How's it going, everybody? This video is about the newer setups and the equipment, over-the-road trucks. Pretty much this is going to be about equipment. Don't mind my compressor pumping away. I just needed to take a minute and sit down and give my back a break. I watched a heavy wrench, and they're talking about schooling, which, don't get me wrong, I think schooling is a necessity today. Any schooling that I had, I put myself through. I didn't go to a technical school. I was raised around trucks and heavy equipment. I was actually raised around Internationals, Max and Brockways. Which Max and Brockways are pretty much the same thing. Max bought Brockway, I believe it was like 76 or something like that. I don't know. That's just a number off the top of my head. I think that's when it was. Might have been prior to that. The R model Mac was actually a Brockway model, if I remember right. But when I came into the scene, I came in during the mechanical fuel pump era. There was electronic controlled, but still the majority of the trucks that were running down the road and the equipment that was being used daily was all mechanical. The old one-stack Mac looked like it had a tire fire coming out the back of it, and puff limiters disengaged on them. Electronics came in. I remember in '98, that was the E-Tech era, right when the E-Tech hit the road. We were like, I think it was 16 years in advanced emissions over all the rest of the countries. And I'm not getting into that. That's not what this is about. What this is about is the advancement on the equipment. You need training for it. That's the easiest way to put it. And I think it's gotten a little ridiculous. That's the easiest way for me to get it out there without trying to ruffle anybody's feathers. But I understand, the pulse width modulation. We're going to go to big business, can afford it. Mom and pop can't. That's plain and simple. You take a mom and pop company. Now, big business comes into an area, and I know this from experience. I've seen it. I've gone through it. Big business comes into an area. They put into a big job. Say they pull 250 machines, lease machines. And these machines hit the job site, and the mom and pop companies that are looking to upgrade their machines, they see this equipment hit it, and they pull back, because they know in a year and a half, 2 years down the road, there's going to be a lot of machines for sale cheap. And when I say cheap, I'm talking, instead of buying a $500,000 machine, now they're going to buy it for $250,000, which is a big investment for a mom and pop company. Now, just go into the heater systems. Say a mom and pop company buys this, they end up, say you got two excavators, and I'm going to use excavators. You got two excavators that are old, worn out, but they still do their job. Mom and Pop sell off those two machines so that they can bankroll for their new machine that's coming in. New, slightly used. Goes back to the dealer, gets pre-certified for used, and back out it comes. They don't hold the warranty, not like it would on a new machine. A new machine's warranties aren't that good to start with. So say a year down the road, mom and pop machine, the new one, stick now doesn't go out. So before, move the joystick, nothing's happening. It was either pilot controlled, which really wasn't that difficult to figure out. Once you had a general basis of hydraulics, you can figure them out. Or even prior to that, they were linkage controlled. So linkage and spool. So it could have been, your $3.25 Heim joint. Swap your Heim joint on the linkage and you're back digging again. Now, pulse width modulation, they have no training on this. They have training for the dealerships and for the mechanics, but not for the mom and pop companies. So, the stick doesn't go out. Owner starts looking into it. Can't decide what's going on. No hose is going into the cab. Calls for service truck. Service truck, $145 an hour, 2-hour minimum. You're down there $300 for the truck ever left the shop. Service truck shows up. They diagnose it. Wiring harness. They put $3,200 wiring harness because this one was repaired once before and they can only have so many repairs in it. So now you got $300 in it before the guy ever leaves. He comes out and troubleshoots it. You need a wiring harness. He leaves. So the machine's still down. You count his day of labor, whether it took him 5 hours, whatever it is, and that's terminal to terminal. 5 hours of time, plus the wiring harness. Wiring harness comes in, another guy comes out. Takes him 9 hours to put a harness in. So by the time everything's said and done, mom and pop business got $12,000 wrapped into a machine that cost him $250,000, where it used to be a $5 repair, not counting labor. You get in the stump jumper went through it with one of his. I personally didn't talk to him about it, but I know he went through it with heater controls. For 50 years, we had a cable and a shutoff valve. That was your climate control. 35 wires and 3 actuators and a board in your heater air conditioner box is unnecessary. To be sold as, hey, this one has climate control, computerized climate control. Yeah. What about the guys that put a machine out and that machine's got to sit from December to March? Bad weather, can't get into it. Chipmunk gets inside of it, destroys them. Chipmunk couldn't chew on linkage. Chipmunk will eat the hell out of your wiring harnesses. For what they did by the advancements and how far they went, what it did was it keeps them, the dealers, the supply, keeps them in business. But decisions like that will put a mom and pop business out quick. So, do I feel that it was necessary? No. Do I feel that training's necessary? Absolutely. If you want to keep going in the field of maintenance and mechanic, being a technician, whatever you want to call it, you need it. but I think it got just a little carried away. So, that's my thoughts on it. I hope I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers too bad on it, but I am what I am. That's how it is. I think it went too far. I'm not the one that calls the shots. So, y'all have a good day. See you later.